Forgotten vows. The phone buzzed on the hotel nightstand, its screen glowing like a beacon in the dim room, casting jagged shadows across the rumpled sheets. I froze, mid-laugh, a glass of rosé dangling from my fingers as my friend's chatter faded into a dull hum. The notification read, "Flight cancelled." My stomach lurched, not from the wine, but from the name attached to the message. Mark, my husband of 7 years. Why would he cancel my return flight from this girl's trip? My thumb hovered over the screen, hesitating, as if touching it might detonate something fragile. I'd forgotten his birthday. The realization had hit me yesterday, mid-spa day, when a text from his sister pinged, "Hope you're spoiling Mark for his big 40. Guilt had clawed at me, but I'd brushed it off, promising myself I'd make it up to him when I got home. Now, my pulse raced as I opened his message. Below the cancellation notice was a scanned document, its title stark and cold, "Petition for Divorce." My breath caught, the room spinning. The girls' laughter grated against my ears, their carefree joy now a cruel contrast to the dread pooling in my chest. "Are you okay, Sarah?" Jen asked, her voice soft, eyes narrowing as she leaned across the table cluttered with empty bottles and half-eaten charcuterie. I forced a smile, my lips trembling, and muttered something about needing air. The balcony doors creaked as I slipped outside, the Miami night wrapping me in humid warmth, the distant crash of waves doing little to soothe the storm inside me. I dialed Mark, my fingers shaking. Voicemail. I tried again. Nothing. Each unanswered ring felt like a brick added to the weight crushing my chest. We'd fought before I left, petty bickering over dishes, bills, the usual cracks in a marriage stretched thin by routine. But divorce. My mind reeled, replaying the last year. Mark had been distant, sure, his late nights at the office piling up, his phone always angled just out of view. I'd chalked it up to stress, to his promotion, to anything but this. Had I missed something? My thumb scrolled back to the divorce papers, skimming the legal jargon until one phrase stopped me cold. Irreconcilable differences due to infidelity. My heart stuttered. Infidelity? Whose? I thought of the girls' trip. 3 days of sun, cocktails, and freedom from the monotony of suburban life. I danced too close with a stranger at a club last night, his hands grazing my waist, but it was nothing. A fleeting thrill, nothing more. Mark couldn't know about that. Could he? Doubt gnawed at me, mingling with a flicker of anger. If he was pointing fingers, what about him? The late-night texts he'd dismissed as work, the cologne I didn't recognize on his jacket last month, the way his eyes darted away when I asked about his weekend plans. Back inside, I grabbed my purse, ignoring Jen's worried questions, and took the elevator to the lobby, its mirrored walls reflecting my flushed face, my wide, panicked eyes. I needed answers. I called Mark's best friend, Tom, who picked up on the second ring. "Sarah, what's going on?" His voice was tight, guarded, like he was expecting this. "Mark cancelled my flight. Sent divorce papers." "Tom, what the hell is happening?" My words spilled out, raw and jagged. A long pause. Then, "He knows, Sarah. About the guy. The one you met last night." My knees buckled, and I gripped the lobby's marble counter. "It was nothing. A dance, that's all." My voice cracked, desperation seeping through. "How does he even know?" "Someone sent him photos. You and that guy, looking close." Tom's tone was heavy, laced with pity. "He's been spiraling, Sarah. But it's not just you. He's been seeing someone too. For months." The world tilted. Mark. Cheating. The man who'd kissed my forehead every night, who'd promised forever in our vows. My mind flashed to the cologne, the texts, the excuses. The signs I'd ignored, too wrapped up in my own resentment to see. Tears burned my eyes, but anger surged hotter. He'd cancelled my flight, served me papers, all while hiding his own betrayal. I stumbled outside, the salty air stinging my face. My phone buzzed again, a text from Mark, "We need to talk." But not now. I can't. The vagueness of it, the cowardice, lit a fuse in me. I typed back, fingers trembling, "You don't get to run from this. Neither of us does." As I stood there, the ocean roaring in the distance, I realized the truth. We'd both been unfaithful, not just in actions but in the quiet ways we'd let our marriage erode. The betrayal wasn't just his or mine, it was ours, built on years of unspoken hurts. And now, with divorce papers looming, the question wasn't who was guilty. It was whether we could face the wreckage together or let it bury us. The phone buzzed again. Another message from Mark. Check your email. I'm sorry. My heart pounded as I opened it, finding a single attached video. It was time-stamped last night. Me, laughing, my arms around the stranger. But the camera panned, catching Mark in the background, his face pale, watching from the shadows. He'd been there. He'd seen everything. And beside him, her hand on his arm, was a woman I didn't know.